Touching down in Peru felt like entering a world of wonder. As the plane descended through the clouds, the jagged peaks of the Andes stretched out beneath me, their snow-capped summits glinting in the morning sun. I pressed my face to the window, heart pounding, realizing that I was thousands of miles from home, about to embark on an adventure I dreamed of for years. The anticipation was electric, but so was the uncertainty. Would I be able to handle the altitude, the unfamiliar language, the challenge of hiking alone? These questions buzzed in my mind as the wheels hit the tarmac, and I stepped into the crisp Andean air. The bustling city of Cusco greeted me with vibrant colors and lively streets. Colonial facades painted in sun-washed hues lined the narrow roads, and the air was filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and the distant echo of church bells. Street vendors called out, offering woven textiles and fresh fruit, while children darted between the crowds. The city pulsed with energy, a blend of ancient Incan heritage and modern Peruvian life. Every corner seemed to hold a new surprise, from hidden courtyards to murals bursting with history and pride. My heart raced with excitement and nerves. This was my first solo hike, and the legendary Inca Trail awaited. I'd spent months preparing, reading guidebooks and watching videos, but nothing could truly prepare me for the reality of standing at the trailhead, the mountains looming ahead. The path was steeped in legend, a route once walked by messengers and royalty, and now by travelers like me seeking something more than just a physical challenge. I felt the weight of history and the thrill of possibility pressing in on me. I'd read countless tales of ancient paths and breathtaking vistas, but standing there, luggage in hand, uncertainty gripped me. The city's altitude left me slightly breathless, and the unfamiliar sights and sounds made me feel small and out of place. I wondered if I'd packed the right gear, if I'd trained enough, if I was truly ready for the days ahead. The stories I'd read seemed distant now, replaced by the reality of my own trembling hands and racing thoughts. Would I handle the challenges alone? Could I find strength in solitude? These thoughts swirled, but a deep thrill took over. There was something exhilarating about facing the unknown, about relying on myself in a place where no one knew my name. I sat on a bench watching the world go by, and let myself feel both the fear and the excitement. I realized that this journey was as much about discovering my own resilience as it was about seeing new places. As I wandered Cusco's winding streets, the city's charm began to soothe my nerves. The cobblestones echoed beneath my boots, and the scent of roasting coffee drifted from tiny cafes tucked into alleyways. I paused to admire vibrant murals and peeked into shops filled with hand-woven blankets and silver jewelry. Each step grounded me, reminding me that I was here, living a dream I'd carried for so long. The city's rhythm slowly became my own, and I felt my anxiety begin to melt away. The locals' warm smiles and rhythmic grace made me feel welcome. Their kindness bridged the gap between my nervousness and the unfamiliar world around me. I exchanged greetings with street vendors, shared laughter with children playing in the plaza, and felt a sense of belonging grow with each interaction. Their pride in their culture was infectious, and I found myself eager to learn more, to connect more deeply with the people and the place. I realized this was just the beginning, a journey of discovery not just of landscapes but of myself. Sitting in a cozy cafe, I scribbled notes in my journal, trying to capture the swirl of emotions inside me. I traced the route of the Inca Trail on my map, imagining the days ahead, the mountain passes, the ancient ruins, the moments of awe and exhaustion. I knew there would be challenges, but I also sensed that each step would teach me something new about who I was and what I was capable of. The Inca Trail was more than a hike. It was a path to self-discovery, and I was ready to embrace it. The thought of walking in the footsteps of the Incas, of pushing my limits and opening my heart to new experiences, filled me with a sense of purpose. I pictured myself standing at the sun gate, gazing down at Machu Picchu, and felt a surge of determination. This was my chance to prove to myself that I could do hard things, that I could find beauty and strength in the unknown. The night before departure, I lay awake, determined and eager for the adventure ahead. The city lights twinkled outside my window, and I replayed the day's moments in my mind. My nerves were still there, but they were joined by a quiet confidence. Tomorrow, I would take my first steps on the Inca Trail, carrying with me not just my backpack but a heart full of hope and curiosity. The journey was about to begin, and I was ready to meet it, one step at a time. At sunrise, I set foot on the legendary Inca Trail, the sky painted in soft hues of pink and gold. The world felt hushed, as if holding its breath for the day's adventure to begin. My heart beat with anticipation, knowing I was about to walk a path that has witnessed centuries of history, footsteps echoing those of ancient travelers and explorers. The Andes Mountains glowed with a golden radiance, their peaks catching the first light of dawn. The vastness of the landscape was overwhelming, stretching endlessly in every direction, and I felt both small and deeply connected to the earth beneath my feet. The mountains stood as silent guardians, their presence both comforting and awe-inspiring. Beneath me, the ancient stone path wound its way through the mountains, each stone carefully placed by hands long gone. The trail itself was a living tapestry of history, every step a reminder of the ingenuity and determination of the Inca people. I imagined the stories these stones could tell, of pilgrims, messengers, and royalty who once traveled this very route. As I ran my fingers along the moss-covered stones, I felt a tangible connection to the past, as if the very spirit of the Incas lingered in the cool morning air. The stones whispered ancient tales, their surfaces worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. All around me, majestic mountains pierced the sky, their summits shrouded in mist. The air was crisp and invigorating, filled with the scent of damp earth, wildflowers, and the promise of adventure. Every breath felt pure, as if I was inhaling the very essence of the Andes. The trail wound gracefully through lush forests where sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, casting dappled patterns on the ground. At times, the path opened onto sweeping mountain plains, revealing vistas that took my breath away. Each turn brought a new wonder, a hidden waterfall, a vibrant patch of orchids, or a sudden glimpse of distant snow-capped peaks. The biodiversity was astonishing. Ferns, orchids, and wildflowers lined the trail, and the occasional flash of a hummingbird's wings reminded me of the delicate balance of life in these mountains. Rushing streams and crystal-clear rivers crossed my path, their waters tumbling over smooth stones and creating a soothing, melodic soundtrack to my journey. The sound of water was ever present, a gentle reminder of the life that thrives in these highlands. Every step brought me closer to the heart of the Inca civilization. Along the way, silent ruins emerged from the mist, standing as sentinels of time. These ancient structures, weathered yet resilient, spoke of a people who understood the land and built in harmony with it. Some ruins were grand and imposing, while others were small and hidden, waiting to be discovered by those willing to look closely. Each one told a different story, adding layers to the rich tapestry of the Inca Trail. I paused often to admire the intricate stonework, marveling at the precision and artistry of the ancient builders. Their ingenuity was humbling, a testament to human creativity and perseverance in the face of daunting natural challenges. In these quiet moments, the connection to the past was almost palpable. I felt a deep sense of gratitude and respect for those who came before, and for the enduring spirit of humanity that continues to inspire us today. The Inca Trail is more than just a hike. It is a journey through history, a living story written in stone and landscape. Its beauty lies not only in the breathtaking scenery, but in the stories, memories, and dreams it inspires in all who walk its ancient path. The Inca Trail is not for the faint-hearted. From the very first step, you can sense the challenge that lies ahead. The air is crisp, the mountains loom large, and the path seems to stretch endlessly into the clouds. Even before you begin, there's a sense of anticipation mixed with a little apprehension, knowing that this journey will test every ounce of your strength and determination. The steep path and high altitude were relentless adversaries. Every incline felt steeper than the last, and the thin mountain air made each breath a conscious effort. The Andean landscape, while breathtaking, seemed to conspire against me, its rugged beauty hiding the true difficulty of the trail. The higher I climbed, the more I felt the weight of my backpack and the strain in my legs. Each step was a battle against gravity, my lungs straining in the thin air. The altitude made my heart pound faster and my muscles ached with fatigue. Sometimes I had to stop just to catch my breath, feeling the burn in my chest and the heaviness in my limbs. The simple act of walking became a true test of willpower. Tiredness and altitude sickness crept in. Dizziness and nausea threatened to slow me down. There were moments when my vision blurred, and I felt lightheaded, unsure if I could keep going. The symptoms of altitude sickness are subtle at first, but they build up, making every step feel like a monumental effort. I had to listen to my body, rest when needed, and stay hydrated to avoid getting overwhelmed. I learned to pace myself, taking frequent breaks and checking in with how I was feeling. Sometimes I'd sit quietly, letting my heart rate slow and my breathing return to normal. These pauses became essential, not just for my body, but for my mind as well. I took slow, measured breaths, determined to push through. Focusing on my breathing helped me regain control and keep moving forward, even when the trail seemed impossibly steep. I reminded myself that every step, no matter how small, was progress. The solitude was both a challenge and a blessing, forcing me to confront my own thoughts. With only the sound of my footsteps and the wind in my ears, I found myself reflecting on why I had chosen this journey. The silence of the mountains gave me space to process my struggles and find inner strength. In those quiet moments, I found a deeper connection to myself. The challenge of the trail stripped away distractions, leaving only the essentials: my breath, my determination, and the stunning beauty around me. I realized that overcoming the physical obstacles was just part of the journey. The real growth was happening within. The trail tested my endurance, both physically and mentally. There were times when I wanted to give up, but I kept reminding myself of the goal ahead. Each difficult stretch became a lesson in perseverance, teaching me to trust my body and believe in my ability to overcome hardship. Every milestone reached brought a sense of accomplishment and resilience. Whether it was conquering a steep ascent or simply making it to the next rest stop, each achievement fueled my motivation to continue. I began to appreciate the journey itself, not just the destination. The struggle made the beauty of the trail even more profound. The sweeping views, the ancient stone paths, and the sense of history all felt richer because of the effort it took to reach them. In the end, the challenges of tiredness and altitude became part of the story, a reminder that the most rewarding experiences are often the hardest won. The Inca Trail, though solitary, was far from lonely. Along the way I met fellow hikers, each with their own story. Camaraderie formed quickly, a bond forged in shared challenge. We exchanged encouragement, reminding each other we weren't alone. The locals I met were beacons of warmth and hospitality. Sharing meals and laughter with them lifted my spirits. Their stories and traditions enriched my journey, offering a glimpse into their world. Simple gestures and shared moments made the trek special. The Inca Trail became a bridge between cultures, connecting people from all walks of life. The solitude of the Inca Trail offered space for deep reflection. Each step became a meditation, the mountains silent witnesses to my thoughts. The challenges forced me to confront my limits and push beyond them. I realized strength was as much mental as physical, a resilience from within. The trail taught me lessons I'd carry long after the journey ended. In the quiet, I found peace and clarity that everyday life rarely allowed. Nature's beauty and the kindness of strangers filled me with gratitude. I emerged with renewed confidence, grateful for the clarity and growth the trail provided. The moment I'd been waiting for finally arrived. As I rounded the last bend, Machu Picchu appeared, majestic against the Andes. The sight was overwhelming, a culmination of days of effort and determination. Tears filled my eyes, a mix of joy, relief, and achievement. Exploring the ruins, I felt a deep connection to the past and the ingenuity of the Inca people. The arrival was the pinnacle of my journey, a moment I'd never forget. The greatest rewards, I realized, come from the greatest challenges. I'd arrived at Machu Picchu not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. The Inca Trail was more than a physical journey, it was a journey of self-discovery. Traveling solo gave me the freedom to explore at my own pace and connect with my thoughts. It was a chance to step outside my comfort zone and discover inner strength. The challenges taught me resilience and confidence. Solitude offered space for reflection and clarity. I learned I was the author of my own story, free to choose my path. For anyone considering solo travel, I encourage you to take the leap. The Inca Trail was just the beginning, a stepping stone to a lifetime of adventures. The Inca Trail changed me in ways I never imagined. It reminded me of the world's beauty and the strength of the human spirit. I invite you to embrace adventure. Step outside your comfort zone and explore. The journey is about the experiences and connections made along the way. The Inca Trail was a tapestry of growth and transformation. Life is an adventure meant to be lived fully. Take the leap, embrace the unknown, and discover a world of possibilities. The world is waiting, yours for the taking. The The Inca Trail was not just a personal journey but a shared experience. It reminded me we're all part of a larger story, a global community of adventurers. I invite you to join this community, connect with fellow travelers, and share your stories. Whether seasoned or new, there's a place for you among adventurers. The adventure community offers support, inspiration, and encouragement. The Inca Trail was just the beginning. There's a world of wonder waiting. Join us and discover a strength and joy you never knew you had.